My name is Callie. This is my sister Madison. We're going to show you today how to administer the Qualitative Reading Inventory 5, or the QRI-5. So the way this test is organized can seem a bit overwhelming at first. So I organized it by the student copies and the clinician copies of everything. So I don't know if you've looked at the manual yet, but I put the word list, the clinician copy of the word list, the passages, and then the clinician copy of the passages all in separate piles. And then if you saw the yellow tabs, the tabs mark the level that they're at. So we're going to start today just going step by step what you're supposed to do for the test, starting with the word lists. So Madison is in 3rd grade. So for somebody with 3rd grade, you have to go back, well, for somebody in any grade, you have to go back 2 grades. So we're going to start her off with the 1st grade reading list. So she has her own copy of the word list, and then I put a star right next to the 1st grade list. And you'll figure this out pretty easily. It's not labeled, but when you look at the clinician's copy, the level 1 1st grade reading list starts with the same word. So that's how you can figure that out. So she gets this version, and I get this one. So as she reads the word list, I'm going to be grading along the side here, which marks identified automatically. So if she, within a second, reads the word and says, bear, father, find, I'm going to put a C in the identified automatically. If it takes her a few seconds, like thought, then I put it over into identified. She still got the word right, but it wasn't automatically. So once she's done reading and if she gets the word wrong, you just write the incorrect, like what she said instead, in the line for the word, and whether that was automatic or just read after a few seconds. So when she finishes all that, you're going to want to find her instructional level. So if she reads all of these and she gets, let's say, 19 correct, that's going to be her at an independent level because it's between 18 and 20 correct. So when you're looking for these numbers, you're going to want to look over here at the total number correct. So these numbers will add up and give you the total number, which is what you want to use to find her instructional level. So we're going to start off with the 1st grade reading list, now that I've made a mess of all my materials. Okay. Are you ready? Alright, so you have to read nice and loud so the camera can hear you, okay?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Bear, father, find, sound, friend, song, thought, one in a brain, air, new, put, hold, afraid, friend, choose, without, move, then.
Good job. Okay. So, what I got for her score, she didn't say a single thing wrong. So all of these words she identified automatically. These 2 words, it just took her a few seconds. So what was that, afraid and friend, I think? So she got 100% correct, so she's at an independent level for the 1st grade reading word list. So we're going to move on to the 2nd grade word list, which is, sorry to make you keep moving it, right here. So this is the 2nd grade word list, which corresponds to this next list on her copy of it. So here was our 1st grade list, here's her 2nd grade. Alrighty, whenever you're ready.
Keep, need, going.
Sorry, sweetie, this one.
Morning, time, shiny, old, trade, promise, pieces, suit, push, the begins, food, doesn't breathe. Insects rather notice money.
Good job. Again, she got everything correct, so she's at an independent level for the 2nd grade word list, so we're going to move to the 3rd grade. So start at this one.
Lunch, separate, believe, confuse, motion, rough, engine, tongue, quad, wall, remove, serious, silver, electronic, worried, enemies, load, clothing, and instead, and twins.
Good job. Okay, so on this one, I wrote over here the words that she said instead of what was supposed to be said. So instead of interested, she said instead. Instead of electric, she said electronic. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She missed 5, which means she got between 14 and 17, so this is her instructional level. Okay, so after you find their instructional level, you're going to move on to the reading passage. So hers was at 3rd grade, which is good because she's a 3rd grader. High 5. So we can have this passage, which she has a copy too. And before we administer the passage, we have to ask the concept questions. So what the concept questions are for is to give you an idea of how much knowledge she has prior to reading the passage. So you just go through, here I'll show you. You go through and ask her all the questions that are provided. This is your copy of the passage. It starts down here and goes through till here, and then these are the concept questions you ask beforehand. And I'll show you how to score after she reads it, and then what should I do with your copy? This is her copy of the passage. So as she reads this, you follow along. Okay. So, I'm going to ask you questions first, okay? So what is the cat family?
Mom, the dad, and the sister.
And as she answers, you write down her response. How do cats protect themselves? They pull?
Paw.
Pour? Paw? What are you saying? Do you want to write it? They do what?
Pull.
Pull? That sounds like you're saying pull. Purr? Ah. They purr. Okay. What does a cat's tongue look like? That's a fun question, huh? Can you picture it? No? What are cat sounds?
Meow.
Good job. Okay, so that's all of the concept questions. And you'll see in the manual on page 49, there's a whole section that tells you how to grade the questions. So underneath, they give you options 3, 2, 1, or 0. So for 3 points, it's a precise definition or a definite response to a phrase or an answer to a question specifically related to the passage content. So this question, a 3-point answer is going to be pretty clear that they knew what they were talking about. So she said to what is the cat family, the mom, the dad, and the sister. So that's a pretty clear answer, but if you look at 2 points, it's an example of the concept. So she gave an example, so we're going to give her 2 points for that question. The next question, how do cats protect themselves? So she said they purr. This is an example of the concept, and then 1 point is, where is it? A general association. So I'm going to give this 1 point for a general association because I'm pretty sure purring is how they show pleasure. Okay, just double check on that one. And then what are cat sounds? She said meow, which I'm going to give 2 points as an example of the concept. Oh, sorry. And on what does a cat's tongue look like? She said she couldn't picture it, so that's going to be 0 points. Any answer that is I don't know or no response, or they gave the example of sound-alikes or unconnected responses, those are all 0 points. So she got the score of 41%. And the rule for the concept questions, the reason they're so important, is, I'm trying to figure out where to write this, under 55%, you're going to want to find another passage for them to read because they're unfamiliar, you mark unfamiliar with the concept, and so it might affect their reading score. But for the purposes of this video, we're just going to continue on with it. But on any normal basis, you would not. You would find another passage for her to read. And when you find another passage for them to read, you want to keep it at the same level. So although she scored only 41% for the concept questions at the 3rd grade level, you want to pick another 3rd grade level passage to try the concept questions again. And you'll just keep doing the concept questions until she scores above a 55%. Okay. So now she's going to read. Oh, the next thing you have to do, luckily I was saved, is the prediction. So you have to tell me what you think this passage is going to be about, whatever guess you can think of, just by the title. So it's called Cats, Lions and Tigers in Your House. What do you think it's going to be about?
They might play together.
They might play together? That's a good guess. Okay, so then you just write their response right in the prediction section of the score sheet, which their prediction doesn't really play into whether you continue on with the passage or not, like the concept questions do. So you just continue on no matter what they say. Okay. So let's see, you can go ahead and read, and while she reads, I'm going to be doing the miscues. So the miscues are what she says instead of what's directly on the page. So on page 60 of the manual, it shows you exactly what to mark for which miscue. So if she substitutes a word, oh, maybe this isn't. Oh, you just write exactly what she says over the word. So if the word is print and she says pant, you just write it over the word like that. If it's an omission, you circle it. Insertion, so it might say mark it with, and she says mark it to with. You put a caret, and then whatever the word is above it. Self-correction, if a student corrects a miscue, write the miscue and mark it with a C. So if she does happen to have a miscue, you still write it and then write a C next to it. If they have a reversal, you do this funny little squiggly symbol. If she ignores the punctuation, you write a big old X on it. And then any miscue that changes meaning, you're going to write MC next to for meaning change. So those will be counted up in the end. I'll show you when I score the miscues, how the meaning change miscues affect her score. Okay, so now she's going to read the passage as I, do her miscues. So remember, read loud and try to do it at kind of a slow pace, okay? Okay.
House, cats, lions, and tigers are part of the same family. When animals are part of the same family, they are alike in many ways. House cats are like lions and tigers in many ways too. Like kittens are firstborn, they drink milk from their mothers. Lions and tigers drink from their mothers too, but kittens are